Welcome back. Welcome. Today, not I guess. There's no guessing. In life, you can't guess. When I used to take tests, most of the time, I would guess because I would get anxiety about answering incorrectly, and the anxiety didn't let me focus on the tests. So actually, tests were my weakest point. I remember this one time I had to write like a short essay for one of my finals, and in moments like those, usually I just go into like a word vomit, and somehow, like, majority of that time I'm just bullshitting and nobody catches it. Like, I remember this one time in college, I had to write a paper. It was for one of my psychology classes. I had to write a paper about something. I fucking forgot it. It's not important. But like, I had weeks to do it. I'm pretty sure I had like at least a month for sure, because it was a big like long form. I don't even know what it was, but it had to be at least 15 pages. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do this. And every time I would sit down to write it, like, nothing would happen. I would just sit there and I'd stare at the screen, and the cursor would just blink at me, and I would blink back at it, and then I'd close the computer and I'd walk away and do something else until it was due. And it counted for a very big part of my grade. And so I'm like, okay, either we're doing this or we're not. So either we're gonna fail this class or we're gonna do it. And college is really big on like, you can't plagiarize, and so like you have to make sure that you cite your sources, and there's like a specific format for that. And the whole idea of it just seems so daunting to me, until that day. It was actually the night before it was due. And I remember sitting down. My sister and I shared a room at that time, so she went to bed. She fell asleep, and I sat down at the computer desk, and I'm like, all right, I gotta write this. And I don't know what happened. Maybe I got possessed or something, but I started typing away. I was just writing bullshit. Like, it didn't even make any sense. It was literally bullshit. And I would literally take sentences from the textbooks, put them in quotation marks, right? Or like whatever the fuck it was that you needed to cite the sources correctly. And I just did that, right? I guess you could say it was like plagiarism, but it wasn't, because I cited my sources, and so like technically that's okay. And I worked on the paper all through the night. My alarm rang to get up to get ready, and I was still working on the paper. I didn't go to sleep. And so I saved it on my flash drive, got ready, drove to school, and I skipped like the morning classes, and I went straight to the library, finished it there just in time for when I had to go to the actual class where I had to turn in the paper. So I printed it. I'm like, all right, this is it. And in nombre sea de Dios, printed the fuck out of that paper, turned it in, and I said, it is what it is. Tell me why. I got an A. I got an A. And not only that, the professor like told me like, wow, like you did a really good job. And I'm like, thank you. And I kind of feel like that's what has happened in life in general, where I've just been doing things with half an effort, and somehow nobody has noticed that I'm just bullshitting through the whole thing, that I don't really know what I'm doing, and that life is just simply unfolding for me in such a way where I'm just letting it carry me to whichever destination I'm meant to arrive at. At some point, it dawned on me that the way I was living my life was very, like, I was not the one. I'm in the car, but I'm not driving the car. I'm in the passenger seat, but there's no driver in the car. And somehow this car has miraculously driven at a very high speed down the freeway without any collisions of sorts. Perhaps some near misses, some very scary encounters, but otherwise, by a miracle, everything just is flowing. And I remember there was this like meme thing a while back, because there was a song and it's like, Jesus take the wheel, and then Jesus comes and he actually takes the wheel. Like it's a funny video, but that's kind of how it feels, right? Where like I'm not the one driving and I can't see who's driving, but it's not me, but someone's driving it, because how else is it driving? It's like, you know, somebody had to turn on the ignition, somebody had to fill up the car with gas, somebody built the road, you know, somebody built the car and the mechanisms that drive the car. But it wasn't me. It's never been me. When I write my poems, that's not me. I'm just processing the feelings that are bubbling inside of me, the feelings that are just like there because I have a body through which to experience it. And when I speak on here, it's like I'm just saying stuff, but it's not me that's saying it. Like right now, who's talking? Is it me? And who is me? Is me Vanessa, or is me somebody else or something else? And all of that was very like up in the air. And so I went looking for answers, because I'm a very curious person and I wanted to get to the bottom of it, you know, go big or go home. And I wasn't ready to go home, so the only option was to go big. And I just went through so many things here and there to get to the answers. And you know what? The conclusion is that there is no answer. Not one that we can comprehend anyway. So today I am feeling out of sorts. Happens every month. And as a woman, it is very intense to go through these patterns, and knowing the pattern and still being caught off guard when it happens. I've just learned to take care of this body because I have no choice. It's either take care of the body or perish. And the will to survive is much more stronger. And not only do I survive, I fucking thrive. I'm like those fucking weeds that grow out of concrete through the cracks. Was it the weed that cracked the concrete? Or was it the circumstances? Or does it not matter? I don't know. But that's what I feel I am. Not the prettiest thing out there growing, but the strongest, I guess you could say that. Came to find out that weeds are actually very nutritious for you. Like if they're not sprayed with poisons and pesticides, you can eat dandelions. They're good for you, except if you're allergic to latex, because it does contain latex. And I remember because I would pick up the flowers, the yellow flowers, and I'd snap the stems, and like this white liquid would come out, and it'd be like sticky. So yeah. Thanks for stopping by. I'm just gonna continue to experience life one moment at a time, because what else can I do but to experience this existence that has been gifted to me?